Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with Science 2 and Chapter 1, Heredity and Evolution. Last time we have seen that evidences of evolution, that is morphological evidence, anatomical evidence and vestigial organs. Today we are going to see paleontological evidence. In the earth there are certain plants and animals, they die and their remains are still there. Now how these remains are found? Due to the floods, due to the earthquakes and due to the volcanoes. Now if the volcano eruption takes place, the entire land goes means it is covered by lava. If the earthquake happens, then the land get cracked and all the plants and animals goes in there, and it takes millions of years to form the fossils. We have seen this in the last few years. If you have studied, you can see how the fossils are formed. Now these are very important. The study of the fossils is very important from the study as aspects of the study of evolution. Now consumption, now carbon consumption stops after the death of the plant and animal, and you can say decaying. Every plant and animal decay, so decaying process start and they give out C14, that is carbon 14 continuously. Now after the death, there is a ratio. After the death of the plant and animal, the carbon consumption occurs continuously and its ratio is from C14 to C12, and C12 is non-radioactive. Now if you see, you can measure this ratio from C12 to C14 and it is called as carbon dating. Now it is used in paleontology and anthropology. Now the structure and the ground level and the fossils. Invertebrates, if you see in the ground levels, are the starfish, then snail, then second come amphibian and the species that is a frog, fishes. That entire era is called as Paleozoic era. Then you can see reptiles in the Mesozoic era, and eaves, birds and mammals are seen in the Cenozoic era. Now carbon dating method was found by a scientist called as Willard Libby in 1960, and he got a Nobel Prize for that, for his work. Now we'll see our next this evidence is connecting link. Now connecting link is some plants and animals show some morphological characters, by which morphological character means they are looking the same. So is related to two different groups. Now here they are not looking like the same, but they can look like with the different groups, hence they are called as connecting. So they can be connected with the other group also. Example, peripatus. Now if you see the peripatus, it is having a small peripatus. If you see, it's having fine legs on it, and the characters like segmented bodies, thin cuticle and parapodia like organs are present. Now, if you see, similarly, the animal shows tracheal respiration, open circulatory system similar to the anthropods. Now, anthropods is what? Like crabs and all. Now, this indicates that peripatus is connecting link between Annelida and anthropods. Annelida is having, you can say, earthworm like animals, and anthropoda is having crabs like this animals. Similarly, duckbill platypus lays egg like reptiles and shows the relationship like mammals. Now mammals are like, you can see, monkeys or like that, due to the presence of mammary glands and hairs on their body. Lungfish, if you try to see, respiration performs irrespective of being a fish, and the example indicates the mammals are evolved from the reptiles and amphibians and from the fishes. The last evidence is embryological evidence. Here you can see the various stages of the vertebrates given in the picture, that is in the textbook page number 7. Now it shows similarities in their earlier initial stages, and when as they grow, the similarity decreases. The similarities in initial stage indicates the common origin of this animal. So they are saying there is some common origin there. Now Charles Darwin, the natural selection. Now if you see, Charles Darwin has come out with his theory of origin of the species. Here you can say only those people who sustained the organism sustains and grow, and others perish. as his theory says. The sustaining and select the organism and can perform reproduction and thereby gives rise to the new species. He is saying that if the organism sustains and give rise to a new species, only those organisms have, and this new species are having some new specific characters also. The Charles Darwin selection was widely taken for a long duration, and some objections were raised against this theory also. The first objection was the natural selection is not only the factor responsible for the origin. This is not only the factor responsible for origin. Darwin did not mention any explanation about useful or useless modification. He has not given any explanation for this. There is no explanation about the slow change and abrupt changes. He has not given any. So even though the Darwin's work has shown a milestone, it is a milestone for everyone who works initially. Now, Lamarckism. James Lamarck proposed the morphological change occurs in the living organism responsible for evolution. He is saying morphological evidence occurs in the living organism and responsible for the evolution. Now, the reason behind this morphological evidence is activities and the laziness of those organisms. Now, he is saying some are very active, some are very lazy, and this he is called this concept as use or disuse of the organ. So, some use the organ, some don't. Now, he has given one example of giraffe. He said earlier the giraffe had a short neck. So, but as they were not able to bend and eat, so they started stretching their neck up, and as you see now the giraffe is having a long neck and it can eat the grass or the trees from the upper side. So here he is saying he has said that the neck of giraffe has become too long due to the browsing on the leaves of a tall plants by extending his neck for several generations. So he was extending his neck and several generations. Now the giraffe is having a long neck. The shoulders of the Iron Smith have become very strong. Now if you see Iron Smith who bang on the iron, and if you see his continuing and you see his strong, you can see shoulders are very strong due to the hammering movements. The bird's wing, ostrich and emu have a very weak due to no use. So they are weak. If you see ostrich, its wings are of no use. Legs of the birds like sang and duck has become useful for swimming. So in the water, even snake has lost their legs and they are modified into what? Modifying their body for burrowing habits. So snake is not having any legs. Now their body is, you can see they are creeping on the land. They are moving on the land, and that's why they can have a burrowing habit. For example, acquired characters transform from one generation to another, and this is called as theory of inheritance or acquired characters of Lamarckism. So here the short note can be asked for the Lamarckism. Now, the development of the organ due to specific activities or their degeneration or of no use at all was accepted, but transferring from one generation to another generation was rejected, and henceforth the Lamarck theory was rejected or disapproved. Now we can come to, now we'll see what is speciation. Now speciation means the formation of the new species or the plants and animals is the effect of the evolution. Now the species in the group of the organism can produce through a fertile individual through a natural selection. So it is always having, they can reproduce through a natural selection. Each species grows in the specific geographical conditions. Now if you see cactus, if you see its condition, it always grows in the desert, but you will not see the cactus growing in the snowy region. Or the same, the pine tree will not survive in the hot desert, or the polar bear you can't see in the desert region, or camel you can't see in the polar region. So here if you see the food habitat or the reproductive ability and the period is different. So all the animals are having all these periods are different. Now genetic variation is responsible for the formation of the new species. Always genetics means from the earlier one. And besides this, the geographical and reproductive changes are also responsible. But geographic and reproductive isolation leads to a speciation. Now we will see the human evolution. As you know that the biodiversity is known today has been said that found from a very simple unicellular organism due to the evolution. Now you can see the picture given on page number 9 of textbook. So in that you can see a journey of humans. Now the last dinosaur disappeared approximately 7 crores years ago. At that time, monkeys like animals are said to be evolved from some ancestors who were more or less similar to the modern lemurs. Now, the tail of the monkey like animals of Africa is said to be disappeared about 4 crore years ago, and they developed due to the enlargement in the brains. Their hands were also improved, and thus the ape-like animals were evolved. Meanwhile, these ape-like animals reached South Africa and Northeast Asia and finally evolved in gibbon and gibbon. Remaining ape-like animals stayed in Africa, and from this gorilla, chimpanzee evolved about 2.5 crores years ago. Evolution of 2.2 crores of old species of apes seems to be occurred in different way, and they had used their hands for eating food and for other work. Those apes started to live on the land and the forest and started to decline due to a dry environment, and their lemur bones developed in such a way that they started to stand erect. So if you see the posture in the journey of humans, you can see their posture has been started to become erect, and the posture in the grassland, and thereby their hands became available for use anytime. This first human-like animals with erect posture were using their hands that had evolved 2 crore years ago. So they started using their hands first. Now each record of human-like animal is with us from the Rampithecus ape from the East Africa. Afterward, this ape grown up in size and became more intelligent, and thus the ape of the South Africa evolved about 40 lakhs years ago. The morphology of human-like animals started to appear like to be a member of genus Homo, and about 20 lakhs years ago, this skilled human developed. About 15 lakhs years ago, human walking with the erect posture was evolved, and we have seen it may have been existed in China and Indonesia of the Asian continents. So here you can see how they have evolved. Now the evolution of upright man, when the erect and continued in direction of developing its brain. So man started developing its brain also, and about for a period of 1 lakh years, and meanwhile it discovered the fire. So they started discovering something, and they first discovered the fire. The brain of 50,000 years ago man has been sufficiently evolved to extent that it would consider a member of class of wise man and Homo sapien. Neanderthal man considered as the first example of the wise man. Then Cro-Magnon was evolved about 50,000 years ago, and afterward this evolution has been faster than earlier. Now if you see the page 10 picture 1.14, there you can see now the picture of that ancestors. Now it has changed to us, like the development is very fast. After 10,000 years ago, wise men started to practice the agriculture. Now they started moving ahead due to the intelligence, and they started a rare cattle herds and established a city. So they started establishing their cities also. Cultural development took place. The writing of art invented about 5,000 years ago, and the history has been started. So thus the human history has started. The modern science emerged out 400 years ago, and industrial society was established about 200 years ago, and we have reached at this stage. We are still searching the details of the roots of human ancestors, but still we are searching for our roots. So this is what we have completed our chapter, that is heredity and evolution. Thank you.